a fun road. It's a fun road for a decent pace, you know? You actually feel like you're using the bike. These things get so frustrating, especially when it comes to cornering. You just can't do it on the regular streets. These special roads. Brembos. Brembos! There's an observatory up there. If you guys can see that through the camera. Geckos. Condom. It's quite a place for a condom, huh?
Another thing, when your guys are riding, not that I have a lot to teach, but you know, when you see these shadowed areas, there's no contrast. You can't, the light's not going to reflect off of debris, you know, wet sort of stuff in the road, whether it be oil or water, small rocks that could certainly lead you to slide out, gravel. So if you see those shadows in the road, you have to be ready for anything. I mean, you can take your speed through there if you want, but you know, one of these days there's probably going to be something hiding in one of those shadows. And all you're going to know is the bike slides out from under you, and you're not going to know why. More debris. More debris. More debris. What happened out here? I mean, I just could slow down. I don't know what my tire's going to run over right now. You know, I think it's little things like this that really lighten your odds of getting in trouble on the road. It's just, I mean, really, it's just being hyper precautious if you care that much. rather not go down on the street. There's too many variables you can't control, like where you land in particular. The size of that thing. And these things aren't small too. Some of these rocks are pretty big. I've seen a couple today that are have diameters that got to be 6 inches or greater. It's on pebbles. I present you. Wow. It's different layers and levels to assessing a situation. So you get debris in the road, and it's not just finding your way through it, but you know, like right here, for example, you assess how many paths you get through there that are safe. Usually there's more than one gateway through. One's usually bigger than the other, but it's not the only thing to consider. You got to consider, okay, what if I avoid this rock in the road, like right there, and I'm in this lane, and another car comes on the opposite side and crossing the lane on a corner like that? I'm more exposed to getting hit. So you see debris, it's better go on the inside and give yourself more room. But I really think those small assessments when you're riding, obviously experience is a huge factor, especially mindful experience. But to me it adds so much to the, you know, what I call the meditation that you do on a bike. The meditation, a lot of the forms, it really is closing your mind to outside stimuli and being, you know, within yourself. This is, in my opinion, on the spectrum of meditation. You're really excluding a lot of the outside thoughts. You're honing in on one thing. It's more physically active than most other forms, but it certainly settles down the background noise in one's brain. I think that's the therapeutic aspect. And the more serious you take it, the more therapeutic it can be, which is interesting. Without going into a panic, of course. If you're just frankly frightened all the time, that's certainly not therapeutic in any way. Another factor to consider here is that the further in you go, the more debris there is. So if you choose an inside line, you're more likely to run into it more dense debris, because it's where it's coming from. So the further away from the source, the more scattered, more distant each piece is going to be. Wow, that's a lot of gravel. If I was that guy, I'd just wait for motorcyclists to come by and hurt themselves so you could be a hero for the day. That's a rough section, certainly. Yeah, and you're getting these views of the snow on the mountains. Look at this. This is Southern California. We're in Los Angeles County right now. And it's May. And you get snow up there. Well, you missed it. You saw that gas station I stopped at. As soon as I shut my camera off, some guy comes walking up to me, ponytail, unique face, and gave me the fist bump, and he said what a beautiful bike, and he was going over it, talking about his old days, you know, racing in the dirt. And this was the drunkest guy on God's green earth. By the end of it all, he complimented the bike about 60 times. And shook my hand literally about 11 times on separate occasions. Twice when I was out there with him, once inside the store when I was paying for gas, and then a couple of times outside. It wasn't 11, fine, I exaggerated a little bit, but wow, that guy was hammered, man, absolutely hammered. And then he bought a 30-pack of Bud Light and jumped back in his truck at the gas station and took off. So I wish him luck getting home. Anyway, bit of a bug situation out here today. It's beautiful, but you can see by the look of that mask. I don't know if this is going to capture it, but looks like a starry sky. That's actually the bugs I've killed on this one trip alone. I think my shoulder here should give you an indication as to what's going on. It's just a bug graveyard. but the riding's worth it. You take your helmet off, you're getting attacked. It's like Jurassic World out here. Look at that snow back there. It's nuts. I mean, it's going to be 70, 75 out here right now. Beautiful day. I'll share some scenery. And then I'll carry on. Way off in the distance there, you get some desert. Just turns flat. So I made a decision to get rid of the bar end mirrors. You know why? They're annoying the hell out of me. It's just the on and off. When I get to tie the bike down to the truck, it's taking these things on and off. If I'm not going to the track, I don't need to take them off anyway. So it's a little irritating. And ultimately, they're buzzy, and I don't feel like going through the hassle of finding a machine shop to find the exact right diameter to, modify some existing piece of metal to make these heavier and reduce the vibration. So it's the vibration and the on-off factor that's kind of driving me nuts, especially with the bike transport, because I've been loading this bike up quite a bit lately. So I'm probably going to go back to the traditional mirror. Whether it's Rizoma or just a stock, I probably just stick with stock, man, why not? Works fine. It's not a beauty contest, but these are much more attractive, obviously. But, I've gotten there. I'm back to the mirrors in the standard location. For any of you who are thinking about the long term,